Everybody, back for another KBO slate breakdown. This is for Saturday, 1 a.m. Eastern Time start. Hope you guys all had a great day yesterday. It was another good day. Scored over 101 on Draftkings. Had a player involved in that postponement, the second baseman who I had in the video. But other than that, plays were solid, especially the hitters. KT Wiz stack was the highest scoring stack on the slate. Mentioned that I love them with Kang. Played Rojas as well. The third baseman was great too. Only thing that wasn't great was Straley, but didn't really matter. So Draftkings make that 3 straight wins, going for 4 tonight. Fanduel had 3 players from KT, and then I had 3 players from KIW, so that sucked getting postponed. But is what it is. On to today. Let's make it 4 straight over on DraftKings, hopefully. Before we get started, appreciate it if you would hit the like on the video and subscribe if you're not already. Try to get 85 likes on the video. If you want to join us, you can visit the website. Links in description. And you can follow on Twitter at the top of the screen. It's at the DFS process for updates throughout the day. Today, pitching-wise, we have some solid pitchers that I like. Sappold is a tremendous pitcher. He's up to 9,700, but definitely has the upside. Was solid in the first start. Was okay in the second start, but it's a decent matchup here. He definitely has the upside to have success. The only thing for him, he's not a tremendous strikeout pitcher. But as we saw in the first start, he does pitch very, very deep into the game. If you want to look at his stats from last year, he is just a tremendous pitcher in going deep into the games. He had 20 quality starts out of 31. Only gives up less than a hit per inning, which is something you don't really see in this league. A lot of pitchers give up a ton of hits, but he limits the home runs as well. So he looks like a very safe option. Another guy that I love is Drake Brigham, who's another top pitcher in this league. If we want to look at his statistics from last year and his career in the KBO, he's been very solid. Last year, 2.96 ERA, pretty good with the strikeouts considering this league. He was great so far with the strikeouts, averaging about 1 per inning. He's only 8,500 in a decent spot against the Twins. And then Casey Kelly got roughed up pretty badly the first time out, but I expect him to bounce back. At 8,000, he's also a third guy that I like. So those 3 are the pitchers that I will be considering and targeting. Don't feel like you need to go very much cheaper than that. So right now I have Sappold and Brigham in there. Both are facing teams that have shown some power this year, both the Lodi Giants and the Twins, but pitching usually can reign supreme, and I do like both of those teams have pretty low totals at 4 runs so far tonight. Stack-wise, 3 teams, or about 3 or 4 teams that I'm really looking at. It's definitely the KT Wiz. They are facing off against a very, very poor pitcher. Gives up a ton of power. Gave up 28 bombs last year in just 117 innings. Year before that, gave up 22 home runs. Last year he gave up 14 home runs, but still, as you see, he gives up a ton of power. And he's very, very old, 38 years old. His strikeout stuff has gone downhill. 65 Ks in 145 innings. The KT Wiz hitters are going to put the ball in play, and I expect them to do some damage tonight. Also, I think you can go with the Samsung Lions facing a young pitcher who has been up and down. He gives up a good amount of power as well. So this stack looks like a tremendous game stack if you want to go that route. I like the SK stack too. They're facing off against another young pitcher, 20 years old, gives up power so far in his career, a pretty high ERA. So the SK stack looks good as well tonight. And those are the top 3 stacks that I will be focusing and targeting. And then maybe the Hanawa Eagles, but they are just pretty bad offensively. They're facing off against a bad pitcher, though, if you want to, for what it's worth. But they don't have very many good hitters. But if you need some cheap options, you could go with the Eagle stack. But first stack is KT Wiz, second Samsung, third SK. On to the bats. One hitter that's not part of the stacks that I'm looking at, but I just liked him just because he's so cheap, is Ramos, a first baseman. Normally, I do not play, a hitter against a pitcher. Haven't done that yet, but at only 3,000, he just is very, very cheap. He's going to be one of the best hitters in the league, and he has tremendous power. So 3,000 is just very, very cheap for the upside that he has. And this position, there's not a ton of cheap options. If you're not spending up, then there's nobody in that 3,000 range that has as much upside as Ramos does, even though he's facing off against a good pitcher, but maybe he can get it done against the bullpen. For the against the KIW. Back to the stacks that I like. Second baseman. If you can pay up if you want. I normally try to pay down a little bit at this position. You do have some cheap options from Samsung that you could go to. Third base, we have Huang again. 4,600 looks pretty good for him. The shortstop is where I like a very, very cheap option. Draftkings giving us another kind of a freebie here. Woo-Jun Sim leading off for the team. He has plenty of stolen base upside. Last year, stole over 20 bags. Leading off should get 5 at-bats tonight, considering how popular and how high of a total this team has. Over 5.5 runs for the KT Wiz tonight as their implied total. And then in the outfield, we'll be prioritizing Rojas for sure at 6,200. And then I like his teammate as well. Going to be paying up for them, which is why I go with a little bit cheaper option at first base with these two. Chance to be the highest scoring players on the slate, hitters on the slate. Rojas and Kang facing off against a very, very bad and very old pitcher for the Samsung Lions. Over on Fanduel, pretty similar in terms of what stacks I like. The Eagle pitcher, Zappold is most expensive here, $27. I think Brigham looks good at $25. And then very, very cheap option is Casey Kelly, who's $20. There's not very many expensive hitters on FanDuel today. You have a couple guys at $17, but DOO is not looking like a stack that I will be really prioritizing. So besides them, you have Rojas at just $15, which is cheaper than he's been. Kang is $14. So I don't think you need to go all the way down to $20 a pitcher, but if you needed to, Casey Kelly is there. Right now, Brigham, have him at $25. Infielder wise, we have some cheap options. As you see here, Ramos $16 on FanDuel compared to $3,000 on DraftKings. Very big difference, so I much prefer him over on DraftKings where you need to fill a first base spot. But you have plenty of cheap options like Romac at $13. You have Sim shortstop at $11 leading off. And then from the Samsung Lions, you have Won Seok Lee at $10. I like him here. He has plenty of power. He struggled last year, missed some time due to injury, but he has shown some power in the past. If we want to look at it, he's been hitting cleanup as well, which is really nice to see. As you see, last year he hit 19 home runs. Year before that, 2018. So has some power. He's gotten up to kind of a slow start, but I do like him here at only $10 on FanDuel. Another guy that looks pretty good is outfield-wise. We have the same guys I'm going to get to, Rojas and Kang. Just love the KT Wiz stack today. Will be my favorite on the night. And then on another Samsung Lions hitter that I like is Dong Yup Kim at $11, who also has some power upside. That this Lions team doesn't have a ton of power, but a couple of those guys definitely have some power. If you want to look at his statistics from last year, he also hits in a good spot in the batting order, and 2 overall. Last year only had 6 home runs, but as you see, only played 60 games. So year before that, 27 bombs, 22 bombs. Still young, plenty of power. Very nice price tag. So that's the breakdown for KBO. Just we'll be stacking KT Wiz tonight, and I love the Samsung Lion stack. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you want to hit the like before you head out, I appreciate that. And good luck tonight.